I'm not Jewish. I'm an evangelical Christian, but I'm also someone who's read a little bit of history. And I've seen some of my Jewish friends saying this, and so I feel okay saying it. If you're Jewish and you live in New York, maybe don't. And maybe get out of the entire region. This guy who has won the Democrat primary, Zorhan Mamdani, is a clear, and look, I don't go around saying anti-Semite. I don't go around saying racist because that word means something and the Democrat Party has stolen its meaning. But this guy wants to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu if he goes to New York. This guy stands with Hamas. This guy apparently stands with Iran because Iran is Hamas and Hamas is Iran. And if you're Jewish, this is probably a good time to get out because he's also a socialist and I think he's an Islamist. He's a Muslim, but he has characteristics of an Islamist. And he's a guy who's never had a real job. He's what's called a Nepo baby, nepotism. His mom is a successful director. He's only lived in New York for 7 years. And he's had just about 3 years in the workforce, including a career as a rapper. We'll show you that. And you can enjoy his music and see why, of course, it was a launching pad. Well, it's just kidding. Of course, it wasn't a launching pad for anything. But this guy is someone who is so much a product of how the left has taken politics to mean the art of pandering the hardest, the worst, in the sickest possible way to the smallest possible groups to change who you are at every single moment. It's Hillary Clinton with the hot sauce in her purse multiplied by 10,000. It's impressive that he can speak these languages. That's great. It's great for the mind. It's great for being able to take in information. It is not impressive to me that this is one of the ways they targeted this guy in this campaign. And no doubt, we're going to find out he went through an audition just like AOC did. I bet you this guy went through video auditions in order to be mayor.
बात ये है कि मैं क्या करूंगा हमारे कम्युनिटीज के लिए और हर एक न्यूयॉर्कर के लिए।
Our communities
मैं
and
हमारे
communities of
शहर
New
को
York.
अफोर्डेबल
I'm going to make this city
न्यूयॉर्कर्स
affordable.
मुश्किल से अफोर्ड कर
New
रहे हैं
Yorkers are struggling to
रोटी,
afford
कपड़ा और
food,
मकान।
clothing,
मैं ये
shelter.
सब बदलने के लिए
Fighting
लड़
to
रहा
change
हूँ।
that.
Rent free, free buses, universal
Oh,
childcare
English.
और
That's
सस्ती
refreshing.
ग्रोसरीज के जरिए। पर आपको एक सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ। तुमने कभी किसी को वोट
Have
किया?
you voted before? Oh, and here he is rapping. This is the arrival point. This is where we're getting close to the arrival point where politicians have no meaning. I mean, there's the word politician, there's the office politician, but there's actually no real meaning there. Because it's actor and not a good one, rapper and not a good one, but dang it, great at pandering. There's some economic plans he has for the city of New York. And we'll talk about that because right there you have this hint. Government-run grocery stores, everything the government regulates or provides is more expensive than the private market does. Medicare has driven up the cost of medicine and healthcare. Government guarantees in college has driven up the cost of college. Everything they touch this way drives up the cost. So it's not just Jewish people who should leave. It's everybody who wants to be able to afford anything should leave New York because they intend, of course, to take and give. Now, with this reality, this means that if this guy can get elected in New York, then other people like this can get elected in Chicago and the major metros around this country. This would be a really, really good time to take advantage of a free offer from my friend Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer, Bulwark Capital Management. This isn't a one-time thing. It's not he'll look at an email or look at some documents. Zach Abraham will commit to 3 free, no-obligation meetings with you to look at your finances, to look at your hopes for retirement, to look at your portfolio, to see if you have a lot of risk in your portfolio, to talk about how he might indemnify you from some of those risks the best that he can. You might have extra costs being drawn from you every month for retirement savings. You don't want that. Zach will help find those for you. He'll unveil them and show you. Part of this process is getting to know him. I mean, you know he's a conservative man. You know he's a Christian man. I hope you know he's a good family man. He's a friend of the show. We'd be nowhere without Zach. And it's no obligation. You decide you don't want to do business with him, fair enough. Here's how to make this happen. Just go get your free portfolio review at knowyourriskpodcast.com. That's knowyourriskpodcast.com. Investment advisory services offered through Trek Financial LLC and SEC registered investment advisor. Investments involve risk and are not guaranteed. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 25-217. This guy, Zorhan Mamdani, is the perfect encapsulation of what it is to be a leftist politician. He admits to using these different accents. He has said he's fighting for the working people, but his background is just the opposite of that. A Nepo baby. This guy should not be a mayor of anything in America.
Hey guys, I hope you all had a lovely Juneteenth. I'm just getting home after crisscrossing the city at events, and today marks 5 days until Election Day.
So I actually created a playlist for Mira.
Wait, is he speaking differently there? That sounds like he's speaking differently.
I hope you all had a lovely Juneteenth. I'm just getting home after
Juneteenth.
crisscrossing the city at events, and today marks 5 days until Election Day.
So I actually created a playlist for Mira, who also happens to be my mother. Nepotism and hard work goes a long way. We had to find a studio to record dialogue for one of the actors to perfect their accent.
What of the actors? He is an actor. We've gotten to the Truman Show point. AOC was recruited, well, not recruited, but there was an ad recruiting people to run for Congress. She went and did video auditions to play a congresswoman. Remember this past week when President Trump and our military decimated these our nuclear plants in Iran, which CNN is pretending they aren't decimated, but we have video footage. We've got satellite footage. The Israelis had people there to go actually look into the facilities afterwards. And yeah, they're decimated. Iran decided to launch a retaliatory strike, but first they called the United States. Ring, yellow. This is the White House? Yes, President Trump's office. We're going to bomb an abandoned American military base. It is for retaliation, face saving. Okay, I'll tell the president. Okay, thank you. Good day. A little bit of theater for our benefit. And really for the benefit of the Iranian people. They don't know it's theater there because they've got completely state-controlled media. This guy said they had to find a studio for one of the actors. He is an actor. And look, there's something in its societal, it's sociological, it's called code shifting. When I am out to dinner with people, I don't talk this way. I mean, this is my voice. I move my hands when I talk. But I'm sitting at a table with 7 other people. I'm not the designated talker. It's a bit of code shifting. If I'm speaking in church, I'm speaking from a stage in church and I'm giving a sermon. I use notes. I don't really use notes. Why? Because I'm invoking the word of God. That's a bit of code shifting. Now, this isn't code shifting. And code shifting happens with people who the world likes to describe as ethnic minorities. Sometimes you speak a little bit differently around friends from the neighborhood than you do friends at work. Okay? Those are known. Code shifting. This isn't code shifting. This is acting. All these fake accents this guy likes to use.
Because I think that New Yorkers, more than they hate a politician they disagree with, they hate a politician they can't trust.
On the subject of trust, you've adopted different speaking accents in different scenarios.
But they go to their local bodega.
Is there one that's real and one that's affected?
What I would say is, as any immigrant knows, having been born in Kampala, Uganda, and then raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old, is there are different parts of my life.
Worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour.
Mamdani was talking about a worldwide press tour back when he was a rapper.
Bring the flavor to the fish, bring the flavor to the rice.
That's
in a Disney
catchy.
movie directed by his mother.
Nepotism and hard work goes a long way.
Here in New York City, this is how I speak, this is how I am.
Do you believe in the First Amendment, Thomas?
Which, that's a great question she asked. Give her credit. Is one of these real? I mean, is there a you? Sometimes this confuses people because they'll say things like, there is no Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney doesn't exist. There's a whole series of focus groups on what Mitt Romney should be if Mitt Romney existed. But Mitt Romney doesn't really exist. And this guy is amplified this scenario by 10,000. Here's what I mean with Mitt Romney. He was once asked, many conservatives say you're not particularly conservative. You know what his response was? What are they talking about? I'm a severe conservative. Severe? No one describes himself in a positive sense as severe. He's a packaged product. This guy is the ultimate packaged product. Far worse than Barack Hussein Obama was a packaged product. Oh, and by the way, you think I was kidding about him being willing to arrest or try to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, if he comes to New York?
Mayor Mamdani, would you welcome Prime Minister Netanyahu to New York City for whatever he comes for, given the US is not a signatory to the ICC, so he can travel to the US, unlike a lot of other countries. Would a Mayor Mamdani welcome Benjamin Netanyahu to the city?
No. As mayor, New York City would arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. This is a city that our values are in line with international law. It's time that our actions are also.
Even though the US is not a signatory to the ICC?
No, it's time that we actually step up and make clear what we are willing to do to showcase the leadership that is sorely missing in the federal administration.
This is exactly what the people in New York need. They need the arrest of Benjamin Netanyahu. Then everything is going to be okay. Now, that reporter asked, what part of you is real? Like, you're talking about trust, but you were faking an accent before you were a politician. You were faking an accent as a rapper because you wanted to be international and ethnic. And I've seen this with Jasmine Crockett. I truly believe that Nancy Pelosi said to Jasmine Crockett, you can be a real star, honey, if you can just be a little bit more black and ebonic. Now, is this the real Zorhan Mamdani? He is screaming or trying to scream at Tom Homan, who's probably not even within hearing distance. Does he actually have this passion? Or I would say this wrong-headed passion? Do you believe in the First Amendment? By the way, he is chest bumping a cop. And the cop is remaining very, very calm. And God bless the cop, because I don't think I'd remain that calm being chest bumped by a fake accent having Nepo baby who wants to take New York and destroy independent businesses by having government run grocery stores. This is the Democrat Party's arrival point. Nothing matters but what you are willing to do to act like you care about the little people. That's the point they've arrived at. Great news. God sees every single motive, and he actually knows the real Zorhan. If you live in New York or you've lived in New York or the big cities, let me just ask you a question for the comment section. Am I overreacting to this guy? I mean, I truly believe Jewish people should leave. And by the way, if you're Jewish, can you tell me, and I've had friends try to explain this to me, I, for the life of me, cannot understand how Jewish people continue to vote Democrat. I don't get that. And when you look at a guy like this, what is the position that President Trump should have on this guy? Because some people are saying he should invoke the Anti-Communist Act to make sure this guy can't be in office. Would you actually favor that? Let us know in the comment section.